Manchester United shock Manchester City at Wembley. This is why the FA Cup and cup competitions are so special in English football. Today, I don't think anybody that's a big football fan would have expected Manchester United to put in a performance like that. And a performance it really was. To be honest, I didn't think that they had it in them. Ten Hag looks like he's pretty much out the door. Does today save him? Manchester United fans, let me know in the comments. Do you think that today's result means that Ten Hag should keep his job? It's been a really, really poor season, but this puts a little bit of a shine on it, makes things feel a little bit better. I'm not sure it is enough to save him though. In my opinion, probably not. He should probably still go. But today, his tactics were truly spot on. Pep Guardiola is a man who has never lost at Wembley. He's gone 8 games there and has not lost a single tie. That is truly incredible. But he's only lost 1 of his previous 11 cup finals. So losing to Ten Hag today is a massive, massive statement. A game which always means a huge amount for both clubs. But today for Manchester United, this meant everything. No European football without a victory today. It means they're now in the Europa League next year, which is a lot more revenue, gives them more options to invest in the squad in the summer. So it is huge. If you're a top level player, joining Manchester United probably wouldn't have really been an option in the summer because you want European football of some sort. And now this gives them a lot more security in the transfer market. But let's talk about the game a little bit. The defence for Manchester United, in fact, the overall lineup is the strongest I've seen in a long time. Varane's back in there, Martinez is back in there. You're thinking, all right, maybe they've got a bit more of a chance today. And they were really good, actually, throughout the entire game. I was really impressed with the pace, especially on the counter-attack. They were catching Manchester City out. And Manchester City never really seemed to click. It just didn't come together until maybe the last 5-10 minutes when Manchester United stepped off the gas. It never looked like they were going to pull anything out the bag. A good start from Manchester United. Rashford looked really good. He was making some good runs. Kyle Walker's one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League and has the pace to stop him. But given the week that Rashford has had, not getting in the England squad, etc., I would class that as a positive performance from him. And then to make it 1-0, there's a huge mistake between Vardiol and Ortega. Garnacho's running through, a ball over the top. Vardiol and Ortega are both closing into the edge of the box, and for some reason Ortega steps outside the box. Vardiol with a header which just goes over him and leaves Garnacho with an open net. Really, really poor from those two, and not something I'd expect because Ortega's a fantastic goalkeeper and Vardiol's been an unbelievable signing for Manchester City this year. So that gives Manchester United an unexpected lead, but it wasn't necessarily a surprise. They had been the better team. 2 minutes later, they had a goal which was definitely offside, ruled off. Marcus Rashford had it in the back of the net. Manchester City's positioning this game seemed to be all over the place. Manchester United players were allowed to make runs in behind consistently throughout the entire game. You even saw it up to the last 5 minutes where there was a fantastic counter-attack which could have resulted in a goal. I don't know what happened in that defence today. Walker obviously has the pace and did a good job against Rashford, and then Stones was okay, but Vardiol really didn't seem on it. Rodri wasn't the best defensively. I think this is the first time he's lost in a Manchester City shirt this season. It's usually only when he doesn't play that they lose. And then some incredible Barcelona-esque passing play leads to a Kobe Mainoo goal to make it 2-0. Honestly, this was so good. Fernandes picks it up in his own half and starts the move. A few passes later, he ends up with it on the edge of the Manchester City box and then puts in an incredible through ball to Kobe Mainoo, who slots it in. Mainoo is a special, special player, and this was the perfect advert as to why he needs to be starting in that midfield for England in the Euros. If he doesn't, I'll be very surprised. There's not really anyone else to play in that position that's over him at the minute. Him and Bruno Fernandes have really been Manchester United's star players this year, and without them, they'd have been in an even worse position. And those two really created that goal. What an incredible goal it was. And then we go into halftime. I'm still thinking at this point, Manchester City are going to find a way. This is an opportunity for Pep Guardiola to drill into the players, implement some new tactics, and bring them out in the second half and claim a victory. But it really didn't go that way. It wasn't until the 80th minute that Manchester City came alive. Man United continued to play well throughout the half. They were tactically set up to stop the majority of Manchester City attacks. Haaland hit the bar at one point. Julian Alvarez and Doku came on. Alvarez missed a decent chance as well in the second half. And then Doku did actually manage to pull it back to 2-1. He gets past a player or two onto the edge of the Manchester United box and hits a shot to the bottom left corner. Onana should definitely have saved that. Onana got two hands to the shot at his near post. And I'm sorry, but I am not hearing that he is a top 6 goalkeeper. I don't know if Manchester United fans are still trying to die on that hill, but for me, whenever the pressure is on, Onana crumbles. If it's a big game in the Champions League, in the FA Cup final, he always seems to be making a mistake. And for me, you just can't have a keeper that does that every single time when the pressure's on. He is not good enough to take them into the top 4. Definitely not, of the Premier League. I know he cost a lot of money. His distribution's quite good. You saw that a few times this game, but he's just not a top level keeper for me. He's really not. If you're making that many game-changing mistakes on a regular basis, you cannot be Manchester United's starting goalkeeper. De Gea was better than him. De Gea was better than Onana. Anyway, we'll move on from that. That goal is what allowed Manchester City to consistently attack for the last 5-10 minutes of the game. They didn't really create any out-and-out chances. There were 1 or 2 shots from the edge of the box, but the ball didn't seem to be making it in. There weren't many crosses going in. Doku was the only player who really looked dangerous and could take a man on, but it just didn't work for Manchester City today. And to be honest, Manchester United deserved the victory, and you can't take anything away from them today. A Manchester derby at Wembley, which results in Manchester City's first 90-minute loss since December. It's a crazy start, and this has got to be the saviour of the season for Manchester United fans. Let me know how you feel in the comments, because it must be such a catch-22 when you know that things have gone awfully wrong all season, but you've also won silverware 2 seasons in a row. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, silverware is what football is about. So top 4 is always needed, but you'll look back in future years and say, oh, we won an FA Cup that year, we won a League Cup that year. You won't look back and say, oh, well, we came 4th behind Arsenal, Manchester City, etc. Silverware is important. Does this make it a successful season? Let me know. I'm not sure. It's a really tough one, but Ten Hag certainly got it right today. There's a lot of games he's got wrong this season, and the performances have been horrible in certain fixtures, especially that Crystal Palace game should have been the end of him, in my opinion. Although you've then seen Crystal Palace go on and do the same thing to Aston Villa, so their rise at the minute looks like it could be scary for a lot of top 4, top 6 teams next season. At the end of the day, it's Manchester United lifting the FA Cup at Wembley. I don't give my congratulations to them. As a Leeds fan, I'm bored of Manchester City, but I would have preferred them to win this fixture. And it stops them becoming the first ever team to win the double 2 seasons in a row. I mean, I'm sure they were more concentrated on the 4 Premier Leagues in a row, but at least it's one record they haven't broken yet. There's still a chance. Give it a couple more years. If Pep stays for a couple more years, I think that's a record that they will definitely break. But for now, it remains unbroken. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you're a Premier League fan, if you're a football fan, please do remember to like and subscribe. I appreciate every single person who watches the videos and engages with the channel. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend. Peace.